Hey, welcome, kings and queens. Today we are back and we are talking Martell Holt. Honey, Martell is the gift that keeps on giving. The sheer ignorance of it all, honey. Right when we think that Martell Holt will take a back seat to drama, toxicity, and just outright egregious behavior, he never fails to disappoint because he can't seem to tuck that good old narcissism in his back pocket and sit down somewhere. And if it's not him, it's that Jezebel of his. If it's not him, it's that Jezebel of his, honey, by way of being his mistress, one that you've all come to know as Coleslaw. That's right, she's back, running her mouth. Additional audio tapes have been leaked, honey, and she has gone on record to say and finally admit that all Martell does is lay down dick and take her out to eat. Other than that, they are not creating. They are not evolving as a couple. There is nothing there, just a mattress, some dick, and maybe some takeout. I cannot make this stuff up. I cannot make it up, but let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now. Subscribe now.
Imagine that. I can't make this up. Imagine taking the name Holt, one which you're extremely proud of, so much so that you threw a hissy fit because your ex wife had a name change ceremony and you said it was a slap in your face by giving you your name back. Negro, I would give you your name back too if you ruined my family for a 15% that only allots to a mattress, some dick, and some takeout Chinese food. You have got to be playing with me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, Jezebel, Jezebel. Don't complain now because you had his back to the point that you were willing to go after a mother of four, a single mother of four. You were willing to make up a lie that was so scandalous, a lie that was so dark and tormented that you were willing to bury a mother of four underground behind a lie and a nigga. So that dick and that mattress and that Chinese food has to be worth it, Jezebel, because you were willing. You were willing to lie and pretend that a single mother of four children was on a tape performing sexual acts with the man that was not her husband. Girl, it's called karma. And yours is just beginning. Yours is just beginning. Okay? And as long as you continue to run your mouth, it will continue to evolve and it will grow and it will fester and you will feel every ounce of it because that's just the way this thing works. Now, my recap review is going to be all over the place because this conversation was all over the place. Typically, I like to outline things for you guys, tell you what we're talking about, but it was all over the place. So I am going to dish out the conversation as I can recall it. So, the Jezebel reported that Martell had a problem with her going out at one point because he reminded her that her place was supposed to be in the house working on her business. What business? What business do you have? Oh, the boutique. Child. Oh, anywho, she shared with Original Straight No Chaser that Martell wanted her to wait for him. And they said, well, you're going to wait because you've been with him 7 years. Yeah, you're right. She is going. She gonna wait, and she will continue to wait. And I don't care how much she get on that internet and flap her gums and run her mouth and tell her business. She's gonna always wait because she's a Jezebel, and that's what they do. They come to kill, steal, and destroy. Ain't nothing nice about this chick. I have no grace for this chick because she has no grace for those children. Any nasty bed bug, okay, by way of a Jezebel that could get on TikTok and open her mouth and play with people's kids, they ain't got no heart. It's cold, baby. It's a cold world when you dealing with girls like that. They have no empathy for kids, and depending on the level of confidence that he instills in her, you already see that she was willing to commit a crime for this man and just maybe going to jail. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part about it all, girl. They just have not knocked on your door yet. This girl is so comfortable in doing wrong. At this point, I'm calling it single white female. She's obsessed with Melody Holt, the ex-wife of Martell Holt, aka now Melody Cherie. This girl is obsessed. That it's sick and it's scary. And she said, "Well, he made me famous." Famous where? Wait a minute. So you famous now? Okay, and she said that women are in her DM rooting for her and telling her how much that she has in common with them, and that women from all over the world can relate to her. You lying. You a lie. You are a lie. I don't believe it. She said women said, actually, us women, we women actually have more in common with you than we're willing to admit. You a damn lie, because I ain't never broke up no family. I ain't never taunted nobody's kids on the internet. I ain't never got pregnant by no married man. And I've never. And I was almost going to say something. So who's ever telling you that, baby, they're lying to you, or they're still wanting you to act a fool just to get you going, pump your head up, because everybody knows that you're an attention whore and you'll do anything for likes, clicks, and I don't know what, compliments. But let me say this: she keeps referring to herself as young. Girl, let me give you a dose of reality. Melody Cherie is only 3 to 4 years older than you. You are her peer. You are not young. You're not young. You were not young when Martell met you. Hold on, y'all. 24. Her vagina had already given birth. So what are we talking about? What do you, girl? You had already given birth. You were 24 going on 25. No, 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 no. No, ma'am, back it up. Martell got you out here looking like Boo Boo the fool. Boo Boo the goddamn fool. So it's become highly apparent in this interview. And I heard the original straight no chaser refer to herself as their plug. She did not use those words. She was like, I have more sources. I have sources outside of y'all. And it became apparent to me that Martell and his mistress, they have used their connection with the original straight no chaser to leak information into cyberbully Melody Cherie by revealing detailed and intimate information about her, whether it be true or not true and or misleading. Okay. So yeah, we talking about two fucking snakes in the grass. And the mistress says that she would have been married by now because she not ugly and she's a good looking girl. Y'all, I cannot make this stuff up. This is a grown ass woman that is talking. This is a grown 33, 34-year-old woman that speaks like a high school student. Yeah, she said, yeah, she's qualified to be a wife because she ain't ugly. Girl, you have no idea what qualifies a woman to be a wife. Because if you did, sweetheart, you would have kept your single ass out of that married household. If you knew what it really took to be a wife, you would have left Martell Holt the day you met him. You wouldn't even be there now. But you're hanging out like a stray cat, hoping that he hands you a bag of victuals by way of claiming you publicly. And let me tell you something, he's not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Number one, I'm gonna be nice. The first reason it's not gonna happen, I'm not gonna even put it on you. Let's just talk about what we know to be true, allegedly. He's a narcissist. And because he knows that he holds the power to validate you in front of the world, he's not going to validate you. He's not going to make you a legitimate woman. He needs to keep you spotted and dirty so that he does not have to commit to you. As long as he can keep you in the place that you are mentally, as long as he can keep you underneath his, underneath his thumb, going on the internet, doing shit that real women don't do. We can just start by way of kids. Real women, boss women, don't fuck with kids. We not doing that. And even if you feel some kind of way about the mama, you check yourself, you check your emotions at the door. So he already know what he's working with and he's exploiting you for the filth that you are. That's why he cannot pull himself together. He cannot find an ounce of strength to do anything to you other than sleep with you, get up, and then a little bit of conscious kicks in. He feels bad and he takes you to get what a corn dog, a hot dog, a hamburger, and that's it. And he repeats this vicious cycle with you over and over and over again. And you too dumb to realize that you are the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this narcissist. He has disrespected you both publicly and privately for years on end, going on what, 10 years now? And at this point, I think you like it. I think you like it because women that do not desire to be mistreated, they leave. Women that do not desire to be mistreated, they work. They earn their income. They don't watch ex-wives saying what they deserve based on what another woman has. So he's not going to, or if he has, let me say that because I kind of feel like they got something. And I said that a long time ago. Or if he has, he will never make it public. How about that? How about that? Okay. Now, she's in her audio, she's going back and forth with Original Straight No Chaser. And she says that the network, yes, the own network, the Oprah Winfrey Network will get what's coming to them because they used her and karma is coming to get them because they did her dirty. Wait a minute. I want to be clear before I elaborate on that. When you say dirty, do you mean dirty like you did Melody and those children? When you after you we're talking about, hold on, because I know some of y'all, oh, it takes two to tango. It's his fault, baby. It's both of their faults. Okay. Once you know that a spot is taken and that a person is in a committed relationship by way of marriage and you are an adult, you also bear the responsibility to walk the fuck away. Okay. I don't give a damn about this new age adoption ideology around marriage. No, you're going to respect mine. Yes, it's that woman's place or that man's place to respect their marriage. But somehow people have seemed to give side people a pass to say they don't owe you nothing. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Once you find out, yes, you do. You owe it to me to leave me the fuck alone and go knock on another door. Or you owe it to yourself. Because if you really that bitch, Harry on, like you say, you owe it to yourself to tell him, you know what, come holler at me when you're not married. Come holler at me when you're not married. See how that works? It's that simple. But she says that own network did her dirty. And that's why I ask you, sweetie, dirty like you did Melody Cherie? Huh? So now you see how it feels and you're wishing karma. See, but the way this works is if you wish karma on own, you would have to be subjected and open to karma yourself because karma cannot skip levels. This is not a skip level meeting where own gets karma and you don't. Do you see how that works? But yeah, honey, she is mad at that network and she's hoping that they receive their karma. Karma for what? Would not karma take its rightful place and start with you, like I said earlier? Girl, y'all, she even fixed her mouth to say that she should clean up her act, right? She should clean up her act. And let me tell you why I think she said it. She comes across as being obsessed with the idea of stardom. She says that I made the shade room and I really need to clean up my act because Beyonce could be watching. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. I kid you not. Go back and listen to it. Y'all, I cannot with this. But I'm just giving it to you because I know y'all like to hear it. Let's move on. Ariane. Ariane has a tendency to lie with her eyes closed because the original Straight No Chaser point blank asked this woman, "Did you sign any papers to be on that show?" And she said, "Yeah." So original Straight No Chaser backed it up and said, wait a minute, hold on. So you actually signed something for real?" And then she said, "No." Easy. Just like Martell. They are one and are the same. Lie. And she let that lie flow off her tongue like she's asking for a glass of water, only to recant when the original Straight No Chaser said, "Really?" And then she said, "No, I didn't sign no papers." Okay. Now, had Nay not asked you for real, you would have left her with the wrong impression that you were under contract or some type of legality with the own network. This girl just be lying. Just be lying for no reason, y'all. This lady is also obsessed with having Melody Cherie's life. She wants in, honey. She wants access to the people, the places, the things, the platforms, the material things that Melody has, the man, the children, all of it. And ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world. Nobody is supposed to be obsessed. Anyone is supposed to be this obsessed with somebody's ex wife who has clearly moved on. Okay. She's saying that production's intent was to have her film with Martell and eventually move her into a space where she would be filming with the women. So she said production hired her, film with Martell, and the men were there. And they thought that would be a great start for her. And eventually she would be socialized into the group by way of the women. Okay. Now she did name the producer. She called out that producer by name. She said his name is Marcus. And I had to pause. And I was like, shit, let me go back. Marcus, wait a minute. And I had to run it back. And then I said to myself, I wonder if it's the same producer who I've received DMs about asking me to expose him. Marcus, you better watch yourself because there's a lot of people that don't like you. Okay. There's a lot of people that send your personal information. And I'm not going to even give a little bit about it because if I did, these people are very resourceful on YouTube. They will go and find it. But there are people that do not like you. They don't care for you. They don't care for your workflow, your work ethic, and you seem to be creating a lot of enemies. I don't know you from Adam, but I got enough information on you that if I were that kind of blogger, I could back it up by fact. So, Marcus, I'm sitting here and I'm like, whoa, that's the same guy that I got DMs on months and months ago. But I'm not that kind of blogger. I'm not here to destroy anybody. I like to give a little bit of tea, give a little bit of entertainment. I'll leave that to somebody else. Okay. But Marcus, you better tread lightly because there's a lot of people that do not care for you. Just FYI. I don't know if you care, if you don't care, but they don't. Okay. So, Marcus, I'm shaking my damn head because my question to you, you were willing to backdoor Melody Cherie and all of the other ladies? See, initially we thought this was like all the women were on board with this. Nah, y'all. It was Marcus, the producer, and the men that had the inside scoop. The women had no idea. Even myself, I owe the other women an apology. Letitia, Kimmy, I thought they were all on board, but the women didn't even know. And my thing is this, you know what? Okay, let me be quiet. So Marcus was willing to backdoor Melody Cherie for a moment to get a moment out of Martell and his mistress, okay? He was willing to ruin his relationship with the star of the show to give a hood rat a little camera time. I guess ain't nobody loyal in the realm of television. They did say don't trust none of these producers, honey. And you were willing to open up the door and allow this girl to come in for a sensationalized moment, huh? Damn, that's a lot. Well, Ariane, let me tell you something. I want to put you up on game because apparently you've taken this, what you thought was an opportunity, honey, is no different than a job interview. They decided to move on with other candidates that they found more qualifiable and deemable for the role. But let me tell you how this works so that you can never open up your mouth again and say the network used you. Have a seat, sweetheart. I want to school you and educate you a little bit so that you sound more poised as you move forward. And should you decide to tackle this conversation again about the Oprah Winfrey Network? Okay, Ariana, I hope I gave you enough time to have a seat and get your snacks out or whatever you need to do, but have a seat, okay? They didn't let you come on the show for two reasons. The first reason is because you and Martell tried to strong arm and finesse the network out of $1 million. You big dummy. That's the first reason. Let me tell you something. Most corporations do not take lightly to sting operations, blackmail, coercion, whatever it is. And you and Martell Holt, the name Holt, since he has a problem and he wants to compare names, you and Martell Holt thought you were going to come in and mishandle the executives of that network when he sent that email. Yeah, he sent that email and demanded, because see, y'all thought y'all were on good, and he demanded that $1 million. Mm-hmm. They said, hell no. And they said, I said, hell no. Like Miss Sophia in The Color Purple. Now, the second reason is because, wait a minute, open your eyes for this. Open your eyes for this. Let me put you up on some game. And I know you like to refer to yourself as that bitch, but you ain't her. You not her, baby. Because if you were, they would have filmed you. They would have moved forward with the plan. It would not have mattered if Melody Cherie kicked, hollered, and screamed. It would not have mattered what we thought of you as viewers. Because if you are that bitch like you say you are, you would have been on that screen, boo boo. You would have been on that screen front and center if you that bitch like you say you are. Okay? Good talent is undeniable. And I told you to have a seat because I needed to school you about how this work when it comes to quality talent. See, reality television is no different than corporate America. Most tend to recruit the best of the best of the best for the moment. And unfortunately, you did not move on to the second round, which is why they cut you sharp. And it hurt because you're still talking about it. Most of us move on. Most of us all have a problem with no. We've all been told no in some shape, form, or fashion when it comes to being overlooked, for other candidates. But you, my friend, you're still sitting there. You're still sitting there on that day and that time when they did not call you back and they decided to walk away and they ghosted the fuck out of you just like they do everybody else in corporate America. But because you have no real life experience, you are a fool and a clown that continues to sing this same song and dance about being used. No, you apply for a job that you did not get. You idiot. You apply for a job that you did not get. Okay. Like I said before, good talent is undeniable. Okay. You can't walk away from good talent. It's irresistible. You call the person and let me use an example. This is a hard example, but I have to use this girl as an example to let you know how people are willing to go after what they want. Erica Mena walked in, did a green screen from Mona Scott Young. Erica Mena, we can't stand her. Racist, been in competitive competition with black women all her life. The first day she walked in, they had her screening. They had her, I'm sorry, filming with the cast. It was up from there. Jocelyn Hernandez. The first day she met Mona Young, Mona Scott Young, Mona said, "Go change your clothes. I gotta have you on screen." Ariane, I told you to have a seat. You are out of your league. See, when you start entering into a realm of grown boss women, boss bitches, what you aspire to be, say less. Because the more you talk, the more ignorant you sound, the more undeveloped you come across as. Because if you was that girl and that bitch, it would have been up from there for you. Okay? If you really brought what you, but Martell got you out here looking like a whole fucking clown, hyping yourself up when you can't even get a second job interview. I'm a pause. I'm a pause and give you some time to collect yourself. Okay? I'll wait. You are mad at the network. Similar to the same story that you tell when describing why Martell can't walk away from you or leave you alone, because Martell got you believing that you're irreplaceable. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. Get the hell out of here, is what Own was thinking. Okay? At best, you couldn't even make it out the blocks, girl. You fell short. You fell flat on your face. You ain't got it, beloved. It ain't your lane. Television is not for you. You don't show up well on television because if you did, you would be on the screen. And then let me give you an additional example of how this works. And I hate to be too hard on you, Ariane, but you're hard on yourself because you know what? We could have walked away from this, but as soon as you hit that TikTok and you sent that out into cyberspace that those kids have to see, your trout mouth ass playing with them when they have a mama at home, yeah, you deserve this. So go ahead and have a seat. But let me give you another example of how this works. Portia Williams and Kenya Moore were subjected to the same process that you were for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And look at them now. They morphed into the shining stars they are because they had that it factor, the look. I'm sorry, the look, the factor, that thing that make you go, the thing that wow producers when you walk in the room, the wow factor, the camera presence, but you, mm-mm. Mm-mm. And the sad part about it, you have no sense of self-awareness. And it's like you're showing up expecting to win. It's like an ugly contestant that shows up to a beauty pageant and get mad because they didn't win. You don't qualify. It's not your space. Sweetheart, you showed up and you didn't win. They didn't want you. And just because Martell uses you and makes you feel good about you doesn't mean we want you or anybody else wants you. Martell done hyped you up and got you looking like a damn fool. And I used to feel bad for you, but I don't know more because you like to play with people's kids. To me, you a big old bully. You like picking on people that can't fight back. Yeah. Okay. Y'all, this is like I said before, this is a 33-year-old woman talking like this, a grown woman, not a girl, but a woman that has no idea that she does not qualify to sit next to us, bad bitches, since she likes to refer to herself as that bitch. You are not that bitch. To be honest, you don't even qualify for the relationship that you're expecting from Martell. Imagine that. Imagine me telling somebody they don't even qualify to be with Martell Holt, the low of the low. Even Martell don't want you. And when I say she don't qualify, I mean by his standards. Even Martell doesn't want you as his wife. And if you are his wife, he would never admit it. He's embarrassed of you. That man is still posing with you on live like he did in that elevator when you were a jump off because that's how he sees you. So, Nay, let me say something, Nay. let me correct you on something that you said. Melody ain't lied about shit when it comes to her kids. I got the papers, and I received the papers from Martell, and he said it on my live that he wanted me to have access to that, okay? Martell hit his son on more than one occasion based on the documents and the paperwork that he sent me. So Melody ain't lied about shit. He did hit them kids. Now, I will say this, Melody didn't say he hit those kids 25 times. Martell is a big, fat, bold faced lie. His obsession with the number 20, I don't know where it comes from. She did not say no damn 25 times at all. Y'all not finna sit here and gaslight this little boy that's old enough to be able to report what happened to him. Martell Holt is a liar. Any blogger that says that he did not hit that child is a liar. You will not gaslight that child, okay? So let's not accuse that child of lying. We're not going to do that. The papers that Martell sent to me were clear. The child reported to his mother what happened to him by your big man strong hands while he was in your care, Martell, at your home. So since you and Arion like to use the original Straight No Chaser as an outlet to get shit out, I'ma correct it because it came out publicly and nobody said allegedly. I can't believe y'all are saying, oh, his mom is lying. No, his mother did what she's supposed to. And I know we live in a world where a lot of women don't give a fuck about their kids because you would rather have a man over believing your kids and you're not going to allow your children to inconvenience your romance. Therefore, when a kid comes home and says, look, I got hit in my head with this or that, you say, shut up and go to your room. I'm being very, very demonstrative because I think some of you don't get it. A lot of you, based on what we see on the news, but based on what we see in social media, you don't care about these kids. You don't see them as people until they become adults. And then they look you in your eyes when you're old and you're sitting on the couch and they tell you how much of a horrible parent you were and you are because you don't deem kids important. And when I say you, I'm just talking to, I'm just speaking in general. No, we're not doing that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to gaslight a child that got hit, a child that's verbal and that can articulate what happened to him. No, we're not going to call the mom a liar. She did exactly what the fuck she's supposed to do. You hit my fucking kid outside of normal punishment. You broke his skin. That means you whacked the fuck out of him. Excuse my language. You caused him to bleed. You hit him like he was a grown ass man. And let me just say for the record, allegedly, that ain't Martell's first time putting his hand on his child in that manner and handling. You know what? Let me be quiet. Let me back up. All right. Martell, how come you didn't call the mother of the child to let her know? If he bumped his head like you say he did, how come you didn't call the mother? So, it's not her responsibility to cover your fuck up, sir. If you messed up, you pick up the phone, you call his mother, but you were probably hoping that it would go away. And yeah, I'm talking about it because you and Arion released the information. Okay? So if you release it and you didn't have enough fucking sense to say alleged, guess what? Let's go. Now, talking about Melody should have called you. That was the same song and dance that he was singing on my interview when he said Melody should have also called him about him threatening to blackmail her, him and Arion, when they concocted that fake ass tape that does exist. I don't know why they're still holding on to it. So, y'all, let's go ahead and wrap this up. But before we do, let me just cover my bases and say all of this is alleged. This girl, Ariane, opened her mouth talking about, they get to a part where they start talking about Sheree. So then she starts to compare Melody's status to the status of a Sheree. And they go in and they talk about, oh yeah, how Melody is scared now. She ain't got too much to say, and how Melody can give the public her opinion that Ariane ain't shit, but she can't say Sheree ain't shit because Sheree has a bigger visibility. She's been around longer. She's more established. Who cares? Who cares? That's the first thing. Second thing is whether it's Melody, Sheree, Belinda, who else? The girl from the Stormy's party, Martell still ain't choosing you. Martell still ain't taking you nowhere outside of that bedroom and to get some takeout. So why you obsessing over who Martell has had by way of his ex-wife, is with, or has been with by way of Sheree? Y'all, do y'all not see how sick and obsessed this girl is? See, she don't care. She's obsessed with stardom. As long as she can get in the room or know somebody that knows somebody, she'll take a back seat. She'll get treated like dirt. It don't matter to her. Okay? And that's why I don't have grace for her, because she'll do anything to get to the top if it means reality television. But let me say this. She opened her mouth to say, because Nay said, well, didn't he ain't gave you nothing outside of sex? He hasn't given you, she's like, maybe some food, but we not building nothing. There's nothing with us by way of anything in this relationship. We have sex, and then he gives me food, takes me for food, and may take me shopping. And we've seen the level of shopping that he's exposed her to. I think it's H&M. Yeah, a couple of times. Oh no, I take that back. It used to be H&M. Recently, he upgraded her to Zara. I saw her with a couple of Zara bags. So, yeah, every now and then he may get her a shirt and some shoes and maybe a purse. But this girl had the nerve to fix her mouth to say that she should have received a G Wagon like Melody. I'm about to end this. I'm about to end this recapping this review because, girl, Melody, that's called a girl. Did you not say you were that bitch? Do you not often refer to yourself as being that bitch? Well, Melody is the boss bitch that got and bought and purchased herself that own G Wagon, her own G Wagon. Oh my God. I cannot make this up. Lord have mercy. Girl, bye. Melody should have given you the Clown of the Year award because you don't even deserve the Side Chick of the Year award.